On today's Apple Daily, a Christmas surprise from Love to Dream and Apple, Air Force One versus the App Store on touchscreen Macs, and the terrifying article about Apple apparently spying on all your Mac usage. Plus, iCave answers and the Notification Squad.
For the latest Apple news, rumors, and leaks, every weekday at 12 UTC, join us in the iCave.
Thanks, Siri. And if you want to join our Notification Squad, all you need to do is subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon down there, and I will give you a shout out in the next video, as long as you let me know in the comments that you've done that. A Christmas surprise from Love to Dream and Apple. So today's first story, we have a cryptic tweet from serial tweeter and quite well-renowned leaker, Love to Dream. The tweet says simply this: "You'll get a Christmas surprise from Apple, PS, winter exclusive, good for winter." So, doesn't really tell us a great deal other than winter surprise. Perhaps it is the much rumoured by only me in the Apple ecosystem potential for a fourth event, maybe, who knows. Maybe Apple's bringing back their 12 Days of Christmas in the App Store, which is something they've done in the past, where different apps that are normally quite expensive paid apps are reduced down to free, or you get free long-term trials or something like that. Or maybe Apple is doing something completely different for the winter. Maybe it is Apple Fitness Plus for free. Maybe that's a Christmas treat. I don't know. Keep you warm. Who knows? But apparently we've got something coming, and Love to Dream will be claiming responsibility for telling us when it does. Air Force One versus the App Store on touchscreen Macs. Since we got our first peek at macOS Big Sur in June of 2020 at WWDC, there have been huge rumours that this is indicating that we're definitely going to get touchscreen Macs coming soon, because everything is a lot more spread out now than it was before. Now, earlier this week, Craig Federighi, Air Force One and Apple's head of software development, had said that touchscreens were not in mind when they were designing Big Sur. That was then followed up by developer Louis Mantilla finding a graphic on the App Store which pretty much shows a finger touching against the screen of macOS relating to widgets. So who wins in an argument between the software VP and the store that sells the software? Who knows? And your computer isn't yours? So there is a scary article doing the rounds right now. It got super popular on Twitter from a website called Sneak.Berlin, which you may have seen some rumours about. You may have seen the article itself. I will link to it down below, and there is also some other stuff that you will need to have a look at as well. Now, a few people did post links to this in the comments. I'll be honest, I had a really quick look at it and deleted it, thinking because it was being just link dropped and there was no context to it, that it was probably just a spam thing. However, it looks like there's a few people that have made videos on it, not as many as I would have thought, and people don't seem to have done a great deal of research. Now, I will be completely honest, I am not the right person to be talking about computer security. Even if what this article was saying is true, which it appears not to be, I wouldn't be that bothered, to be completely honest. I don't care who knows where my computer is, but I understand why people do, and why it is a big deal for a lot of people. So I'm not dismissing this, I'm just saying it wouldn't bother me that much regardless. However, let's get into what it actually says. So the article is named "Your Computer Isn't Yours," and it says that on modern versions of macOS, you can't simply power on your computer, launch a text editor or ebook reader, and read or write without a log of your activity being transmitted and stored. It turns out that in the current version of macOS, the OS sends Apple a hash, unique identifier of each and every program that you run and when you run it. Lots of people don't realise this because it's silent and invisible and fails instantly and gracefully when you're offline. But today the servers got really slow and it didn't hit the fast fail code path, and everyone's apps failed to open if they were connected to the internet. Now, this was during Big Sur being launched, so obviously Apple's servers were being hit really hard. This all makes a lot of sense. However, it sounds pretty bad, right? Yeah, it does, and apparently even worse, this information is sent unencrypted, so it can be read by everyone from your ISP to Prism, all of the kind of national security guys in America, especially for Apple, who are so very focused on privacy and security and safety of their platform. It's very, very un-Apple. What's really going on? Why does Apple want all of this information from us? Well, they probably don't. So, according to another article, which again I will link down in the show notes for this, from Jacopo Giannone, this is what's actually going on. So this is a call from the OCSP, which is the Online Security Status Protocol. This is a system that Apple basically uses to check that the developer security certificates for the apps that you're about to launch haven't been revoked because either the developer has been hacked, their website has had reports of malicious code built into one of these applications, these DMG files that you'd be downloading, something like that. Basically, it's just doing a quick check to make sure there aren't any problems with the file that you're about to download as far as they know. That's what the system is for overall. That's what it's there for. So, does Apple phone home when you try to open an app? Yes, it does. And it is designed so that if it's not connected to the internet or for some reason it can't get through, it will fail open. It will automatically open the app rather than kind of failing and saying you can't open this because we can't check the security. What it does is it checks to see if it knows of an issue. If it can't get through to find out if there's an issue, it assumes that everything's okay. Also, it doesn't do this every single time you open the app. There is a period of time that will elapse, and after that period of time has elapsed since the last check, it will recheck on the next opening of the app. It's not every single time you open it. It doesn't send all your information every single time. What it's also sending is not a hash of the app that you're trying to open, but developer certificate ID, essentially. It's quite a simple task to actually use something like Wireshark or an HTTP proxy, and you can actually grab all of the information that's being sent from your computer. And if you're opening something by Mozilla, for example, if you open Firefox and you open Thunderbird, both of those would send exactly the same information. So why has all of this come up now? Basically, because of Big Sur being introduced, there was a super heavy amount of traffic on Apple servers. As well as that, Big Sur itself makes it a lot harder for this to be disabled. There have been ways in the past where you could disable it using something called Little Snitch or a couple of other different ways. Those won't work with Big Sur, and the reason is because Apple wants to make sure that your apps are safe. And this kind of thing sounds scary. There's a lot of people worried about surveillance and things, but in this case, Apple has made a decision that it is probably safer to just make it something that is required by macOS so that it can be checking these things every time rather than leaving it to users to potentially be misled into disabling something like this by a rogue developer that then allows them to install some sort of malware onto the system. So is macOS malware? No, it's not. By all accounts, this is a safety feature that is being kind of misinterpreted, and understandably, because it does look like it could be an issue, but it seems like it isn't. So hopefully that puts your minds at rest when you see this article floating around. As I say, I've included both of the article links in the show notes so you can go and check through it all yourself, because I don't completely fully understand all of this stuff, but from what I can see, it's all explainable. Okay, you guys, just a quick update to this as well. I filmed all of this last night. I'm just doing the edit now, and I've just checked. 9to5Mac is mentioning that Apple has actually addressed these security concerns already with a new support document, which says macOS has been designed to keep users and their data safe while respecting their privacy. Gatekeeper performs online checks to verify if an app contains known malware, whether the developer's signing certificate is revoked. We have never combined data from these checks with information about Apple users or devices. We do not use data from these checks to learn what individual users are launching or running on their devices. Notarization checks if the app contains known malware using encrypted connection that is resilient to server failures. These security checks have never included the user's Apple ID or identity of their device. However, over the next year, we will introduce several changes to our security checks. A new encrypted protocol for developer ID certificate revocation checks, strong protections against server failure, and a new preference for users to opt out of these security protections. So all of the stuff that was kind of addressed, and it might be a little bit dodgy that Apple doesn't want you to disable this in Big Sur. I think they're going to just make it clearer that if you do disable it, you are going to reduce the security of your device, but it comes down to being an option for people. So just thought I'd let you know about that. I'll also try and link to that support document in the show notes. Okay, through to iCave Answers, and this comes from Sander Hoogland. I'm going to go with Hoogland. I know you've said I can get Siri to tell me, but I haven't remembered to. So, hashtag iCave Answers, that's what you need to do if you want to get any of your questions into here. So now that you've had at least some personal experience with it, would you say that the LiDAR is one of the good reasons to pick a Pro iPhone over a non-Pro one? Sander, my friend, this video and the one that I did yesterday, kind of doing my 48 hours with the iPhone 12 Pro Max, has been shot using the 12 Pro Max, and I've had zero problems, as far as I'm aware so far, with focus. With my old Lumix camera, which I have got filming as a backup here, so if you are watching this and for some reason it looks like I'm not really looking at the camera very much, that's because I've had to use my backup. If I'm pointing at it now, we're on the backup. But that's also recording my audio at the minute, because we haven't quite worked out how to get good audio to go into the iPhone without me plugging something into it, and I don't really want to plug anything into it because I've said that that's not what I want to do. So I might be looking at some Bluetooth microphones. If anyone's got a suggestion, leave it down in the comments. But we are talking right now about LiDAR, and the LiDAR seems to be doing a really good job at locking that focus right onto my face and keeping it there, which has been really, really cool, because my Lumix camera has had some problems with that in the past. So yes, I think it's a really cool thing. I've also played a bit of Angry Birds AR, which I really found far more fun than I should have done. I will throw a bit of the footage of that up on the screen as well, and you can take a look, but it really glues the stuff that you're looking at right down to the ground or to whatever surface you're playing on. So it is a little bit different to what you would see with the previous iPhones, where it kind of bounced around a little bit and it looked like it was trying to find a space. I think, though, that the LiDAR sensor is one of those things that has been put into it now so that developers can develop for it. There is not a killer app for it just yet. I mean, you can measure things and you can point it at people now and measure how tall they are without asking them as well. So you can find out exactly how tall Donald Trump is. Turns out he's a lot shorter than he tells you he is. But yeah, I think the LiDAR is going to be really useful. I don't think it's quite got to its potential yet, but now that it's in a lot of people's hands, it's got a decent chance of actually finding the app that will make it awesome. But it certainly helps for focus. Last section, we've got our notification squad. If you want to join the notification squad, as I said, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, and let me know in the comments that you've done that so that I can give you a shout out like this in the next video. And in this video we have Omkar Swana and that's my best chance on that. It's all one word. Thunk Different from our Discord. We've got Ammo Hash. We've got Andre Gant. We've got Christian Herrera. We've got Mike B and Hannah Shipman. All join the notification squad. Thank you guys so much. We will see you in the next episode. And if you've got any questions, as I say, hit us up in the comments with hashtag iCaveAnswers, and I will answer them in the next show. Thank you for watching.